People over the age of 30, what advice do you have for younger people? Advice 1. You've only got one body, so take care of it. Stay active, even if it's just going for regular walks. Make healthier food choices. Prioritize quality sleep. Any movement is better than staying on the couch. Reply, nature gave me the best set of teeth anyone could have wished for. I had a gorgeous smile as a boy, but I didn't take great care of my teeth. I just brushed and only occasionally flossed. As a young adult, I ate more or less whatever I wanted. There were also periods of neglecting dentist visits. All this had to do with mental health problems. Anyway, over the years, damage slowly accumulated until I woke up one day after a dentist visit and realized with grief how much my dental health had quite visibly deteriorated. Nothing terrible, but not great teeth anymore. I deserved worse and was on a trajectory to an even worse condition. This is my routine now since my late 30s. The following is not instructional advice. Consult dentistry professionals. Brushing and rinsing morning and evening, mindfully, intentionally, and technically correct as per instructions. Paying attention to the gum line and hard-to-reach spots. Using only soft-tipped brushes. Flossing once daily or almost daily in the evening. Brushing my tongue with a hard brush daily to prevent buildup in the evening. Always waiting at least 15 minutes, preferably 30 minutes, before brushing after eating. Rinsing with toothpaste or mouthwash each night without drinking anything for at least 15 minutes after. Banning soft drinks and instant coffee. Avoiding acidic or staining foods or consuming them in moderation. No eating in the middle of the night. Sweets, pastries, ice cream, and snacks are limited to once per week. Coffee or tea is permitted twice per day, always with generous amounts of milk to reduce staining to some degree, and rinsing afterward. Rinsing with water after eating anything. Limiting meals to a maximum of 5 times a day, though my discipline is lacking a bit on this point. Chewing gum after meals, usually. Advice 2. Save money, but don't let your life revolve around work, as you will regret it when you're older. Reply. Adding to the savings part, don't just save. Invest in the S&P 500 and set up your account so that any dividends you receive are reinvested. Start early enough, and you'll be a millionaire after a decade or so, as long as you're aggressively adding to the account whenever you can. I know you may want some cool tech or a fancy car or whatever. Trust me, there will be time for that stuff. I spent all my money in my 20s on fast cars, video games, and drinking, and I have nothing to show for it. Now, at 35, I still have an insane amount of free time and income, but I've made so many bad decisions that still cannot start investing. Bad decisions like buying a house and short selling it 4 years later at a loss, but I had to move, so it had to be done. Invest early and often, and you'll be set by 40, possibly even enough to retire early. Advice 3. Don't go to college just for the sake of going. Evaluate properly if you need a degree for what you want to do. Reply. But if you choose not to go to college, you have a civic responsibility to devote some personal time to studying important works in the humanities. College is society's last best attempt at producing thoughtful citizens instead of worker drones before they join the adult world. We need citizens who know things. Lots of different and esoteric things for democracy to be viable. We need citizens with a deeper epistemology than Facebook, Rogan, cable news said it's true, so it's true. I get that college is now too expensive a luxury for its intended purpose, but it's tragic that we don't at least remember what its purpose was. It's not supposed to be the STEM job training factory that people embedded in a capitalist to its bones society think it is. It's a place for developing sophisticated cognitive tools and for becoming familiar with the mistakes of history, lest we repeat them. High school barely scratches the surface. Hell, my bachelor's barely scratched the surface compared to the master's. I urge anyone considering skipping college to read something like Martha Nussbaum's book, Not for Profit, before deciding. Advice number 4, wear sunscreen. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. I will dispense this advice now. Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. Oh, never mind. You will not understand the power and beauty of your youth until they've faded. But trust me, in 20 years, you'll look back at photos of yourself and recall, in a way you can't grasp now, how much possibility lay before you and how fabulous you really looked. You are not as fat as you imagine. Don't worry about the future, or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubblegum. The real troubles in your life are apt to be things that never crossed your worried mind, the kind that blindsides you at 4 p.m. on some idle Tuesday. Do one thing every day that scares you. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts. Don't put up with people who are reckless with yours. Floss. Don't waste your time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself. Remember compliments you receive. Forget the insults. If you succeed in doing this, tell me how. Keep your old love letters. Throw away your old bank statements. Stretch. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know didn't know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. Get plenty of calcium. Be kind to your knees. You'll miss them when they're gone. Maybe you'll marry. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have children. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll divorce at 40, or maybe you'll dance the funky chicken on your 75th wedding anniversary. Whatever you do, don't congratulate yourself too much or berate yourself either. Your choices are half chance, so are everybody else's. Enjoy your body. Use it every way you can. Don't be afraid of it or what other people think of it. It's the greatest instrument you'll ever own. Dance, even if you have nowhere to do it but your own living room. Read the directions, even if you don't follow them. Do not read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly. Get to know your parents. You never know when they'll be gone for good. Be nice to your siblings. They're your best link to your past and the people most likely to stick with you in the future. Understand that friends come and go, but with a precious few, you should hold on. Work hard to bridge the gaps in geography and lifestyle, because the older you get, the more you need the people you knew when you were young. Live in New York City once, but leave before it makes you hard. Live in Northern California once, but leave before it makes you soft. Travel. Accept certain inalienable truths. Prices will rise, politicians will philander, and you too will get old. And when you do, you'll fantasize that when you were young, prices were reasonable, politicians were noble, and children respected their elders. Respect your elders. Don't expect anyone else to support you. Maybe you have a trust fund. Maybe you'll have a wealthy spouse, but you never know when either one might run out. Don't mess too much with your hair, or by the time you're 40, it will look 85. Be careful whose advice you buy, but be patient with those who supply it. Advice is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from the disposal, wiping it off, painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than it's worth. But trust me on the sunscreen. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more incredible Reddit tales. Share your thoughts or your own experiences in the comments below. I love hearing from you all. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring those amazing stories.